begin.
Okay, so I am Marcello and I will be the second proposition for the U.S. Supreme Court justices should have term limits. Okay, so first I would like to point out that my opponent did not refute any of our points, so all our points still stand. Those points are that politics prevents Supreme Court justices from upholding the Constitution as written. Supreme Court justices in the modern era vote according to their own political beliefs or leanings. Our evidence is, according to the New York Times, Justice Antonia Scalia voted 65% of the time for conservative speakers, while in contrast, he voted 21% for liberal speakers from 1986 to 2011. This shows that because of his political beliefs and learnings, he was leaning more towards conservative speakers. While Justice John Paul Stevens voted 47% of the time for conservative speakers and 63% for liberals. So this is another example of how people's political learnings are leading them to a certain side. Our second assertion was that term limits for justices in the Supreme Court would reduce the influence of politics in interpreting the U.S. Constitution. So according to the Harvard Law Journal, to sitting justices, meaning justices contemplating retirement, they may time their retirement so that when they retire, there's a president in office that agrees with what they believe. So since that president agrees with what they believe, those judges think that that president is going to appoint a judge that agrees with what they believe, therefore sort of carrying on their legacy. So the Supreme Court justices contemplating retirement have delayed doing so. Supreme Court justices contemplating retirement have delayed doing so until a like-minded president is in office, so that their replacement is more likely to continue their thinking in future case opinions. This tendency creates a situation where a single president may appoint a high number of justices, affecting the leaning of the court for years afterward. President Richard Nixon, for example, appointed 4 Supreme Court justices during his years in office, with 2 of the 4 replacements due to retirement. Franklin Roosevelt appointed 8 justices, with 5 being replacements due to retirement. Our fourth assertion is older justices are less capable of performing the duties of a SCOTUS justice. At a certain point in a person's life, their ability to handle complex tasks efficiently starts to decrease and continues to decrease each year. With the term limit, that ability wouldn't decrease endlessly until they died or weren't able to serve in office. With a term limit, they would hopefully be able to serve in office until their ability to serve in office started to decrease. But by that time, they'd be out of office because of the term limit, instead of being in office for their whole time while their ability to serve well decreases. Okay, so my opponent said that life tenure allows judges to act free of political strategies, and politicians work nonstop to get reelected. Well, you said it would be bad if judges had to do this, and that a life tenure stops them from having to do this. But politicians working hard throughout their life, is that a bad thing? Do you want politicians in office do you want judges to have to be in office and say, oh, well, I really don't need to work hard because I don't need to worry about getting reelected. Now, if a judge has to worry about, oh, I have a limit to how much I can do in office, and if a judge says, I have a limit to how much I can do in office, and I need to work hard so I can be reelected, that judge is more likely to make constitutional decisions and to work harder, to make the right decisions, all right? Also, judges have, you said judges have